Now, thousands have been left destitute following 3 devastating shack fires that ripped through informal settlements such as Phola Park, Imizamo, Yethu and Dunun. Many have started rebuilding their homes, salvaging what they can after the blaze. Disaster relief organization Gift of the Givers has been assisting these displaced families by distributing hot meals, water, as well as blankets and other essential items. For the latest on these relief measures, we speak to Ali Sablay, project manager at the Gift of the Givers. Ali, good evening and thank you so much for coming through to talk to us.
Thank you. Good evening to you and the viewers.
Ali, just maybe before we talk about the relief, when you arrived as Gift of the Givers at these places where the fire gutted, what was the situation like?
The situation was total carnage. We were first called out on Friday the 30th of December to noon, where 136 structures burnt out, 200 people displaced. What was sad about this disaster, most of the people were at work, and when the time the fire was put out was the time for people to come back from work. We witnessed one mother running towards the disaster site, shouting, hoping that the place is not burnt out. And when she saw the devastation, her place is burnt out, she threw herself on the floor, on the hot debris, and started crying uncontrollably. She told us, with a little bit of savings and a little bit of bonus she received in December, she has already purchased her children's stationery and school uniform that has completely burnt out. In Phola Park on New Year's Day, close to 300 structures burnt out, close to 1,000 people displaced. According to community members, the power was off, there was load shedding, and in one of the structures where the lady has passed on, a gas stove exploded. It was too late for her to escape, and the winds were strong. The fire spread rapidly, leaving 1,000 people displaced. Most of the people were in the Eastern Cape, and some of them are coming back home today and in this week. They will be coming back to nothing. So the situation on the ground is very, very dire. These people do not know what tomorrow holds for them. They have no building material to rebuild their homes. We saw today in the communities, people scratching through the rubble, seeing to see what sheets is not badly burnt out that they can use to rebuild their lives.
Now, when you look at this, I mean, you did say that some investigations are still happening. Do we have an idea as to exactly in all these other areas what caused these fires?
Okay, in Phola Park, they are suspecting a gas stove that exploded in the structure because of the electricity being off. They expect the gas stove exploding there. In Dunun, that's under investigation. In Masipumalele, sadly, 3 people has passed on with the fire. They suspecting a candle must have fallen over, and with the strong winds that has caused the fires. And this weekend in Cape Town alone, 4 lives were lost because of fires occurring in different informal settlements.
Now, from your side as Gift of the Givers, you've been at many different places to try and assist. What has the relief process been like so far to try and assist these people with all you can?
Gift of the Givers has been on the scene literally in hours, and we all know from past disasters, when you get to a site, sometimes it takes 6 to 8 hours for the fire to extinguish, for the firefighters to put the fire out. We found that all the people's food has completely burnt out. So we know we're coming into an area where people will be hungry. So the Gift of the Givers immediately steps in, provide the fire victims with hot meals that we carry on for the next 5 days. We provide them with 5 liter bottles of water. Sometimes the taps burns out. We provide them with toiletry packs, mattresses, blankets, baby care packs, because you find a lot of babies in the informal settlements as well, and who are victims as well. So that's our relief aid. Then, of course, we have the government institutions, disaster risk management, all credit due to them. Within hours of the fire, install the taps, they have to get rid of all the old debris, and of course sometimes you have dead animals, so the work becomes a health hazard. And all credit due to SASA, who has been on the ground immediately when the fire occurred with our teams. And here, just for the viewers, we'd like to offer our condolences to the head of SASA Disaster Management, Ms. Patience Peterson, who who has been working with our teams since Friday. Yesterday we last engaged with her. This morning, tragically, she and a cousin passed away in an accident. It's a great loss for SASA in the Western Cape. It's a great loss for the vulnerable in the in informal settlements in the Western Cape, because for the last 10 years she has played a great role in ensuring aid timelessly come in terms of government sector to the affected victims.
Ali, you touched on the issue of the government, and at some point the line was not very clear. But just to take you back to that point, what sort of assistance are you getting from government? Because I think more than anything, beyond hot meals and water and providing blankets and mattresses, it's a question of what next to those who are displaced.
Okay. The fire victims, after every disaster, they have to be registered. So as soon as they're registered, SASA has grants in place for disaster relief efforts. So as soon as the communities are registered, SASA, which is the department which is linked to the Department of Social Development, they will then kick in their relief efforts. They will further provide the family in terms of relief grants, which is monetary terms, some blankets, some mattresses as well. The city of Cape Town will step in to ensure the basic services of water and sometimes electricity is restored to the affected communities.
Just finally, Ali, unfortunately our connection is not that clear. But I mean, in terms of the community and the surroundings, what sort of assistance are you getting, or from the people around, if any?
We are receiving great amount of calls. In any situation in South Africa where there's other fellow beings affected, we see the true spirit of Ubuntu coming out. We found corporates calling us, we found individuals calling us, we found church groups calling us, wanting to lend their service, wanting to contribute. So the need at the moment is school uniform, school stationery, toiletries, and of course bottled water. All this details is available on the Gift of the Givers website. We are currently dealing with 4 fire situations where we're assisting the victims. Number 1 is Dunoon, Masipumalele, Phola Park in Philippi, and in Newzroom in Strand.
Ali Sablay, thank you so much for coming through to talk to us and keep us up to speed with all that is happening there, and of course relief action that is being taken to try and assist those that have been displaced and being affected by the fires.